Hey guys, this is Casio with Armour's Mixed Martial Arts and Fitness. We're going to be doing a tutorial video on hand wrap, and it's going to be a little tips and trick video, but I'm going to kind of mix in how to wrap your hands or how I wrap my hands for, mitt drills and sparring. And wrapping your hands is very important, guys. So, I know some guys, they'll take well, I don't got my boxing gloves here, but they'll take that boxing glove and they'll just put it on, without hand wrap. And you can get away with that if you're just doing light mitt work and stuff, and you're not punching at 100% power or 80% power or even sometimes 50% power. You can get away if you're doing like just technique work, you know, just just pity patting on the pads a little bit, and just working your jab, your cross, your hook, whatever. You just doing light mitt work. You going maybe about 15, 20%. It's not gonna shock your wrist. It shouldn't. But if you getting into doing heavy mitt work, and you're gonna be spending a lot of time on the mitts that day or on the heavy bag or whatnot, you need to think about wrapping up that wrist, because you need to protect that wrist and you need to protect these knuckles. It's very, very important. So what I like to do, I take a cut up towel. I cut me up a towel or whatnot, and I go long ways width. I go to width. So I cut, and I cut it about maybe 6 to 7 inches long. And what I do, I fold it. I want to fold it probably about a couple of times, about maybe 3 times, 4 times, to where I have a pad. Because anybody knows, if a mixed martial artist, and you do mitt work or bag work, and you wrap your hands, sometimes you don't have enough wrap for your wrist. So it's a little trick. What I like to do, some people use tissue, some people use gauze and tape, and they got plenty of gauze, but I'm not a big fan of wrapping up my hands with gauze because it's very time consuming, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I don't do the gauze and tape that much, and I'm not that sufficient at it. So what I do is, I take me a towel and I take my hand wrap and I spread my fingers out, and I take my thumb, and it's about the width of that my I spread my towel out to the width of my fingers, and I spread my fingers out basically. This pattern is to protect the knuckles. I take my hand wrap, I tuck that little inner part in, that thumb part where you stick your thumb through. I don't use it because I don't like to wrap my thumb. I pinch. Now I'm gonna go low on the lip part of that towel. I use my chin for a starting place, so to keep it in place. And I go around the towel on the back end and go through the thumb part back to your wrist. I like to go through my middle first. It's not a right way or a wrong way, whatever feels comfortable to you. Just go through that middle part. I'll go back to the wrist. And remember guys, not too tight, okay? Just keep it kind of loose to snug. Don't tug on it too hard because it'll cut off your circulation. We'll start at next. We'll go to the pointer, wrap around that wrist, go through the knuckle to the pointer middle. And if this thing is sliding when you're going through that pointer, bring it over more to the middle, and then go back. Always go this way, guys. After you go through the fingers, go back towards your thumb and go back around the wrist and kind of move it around to see is it, not too tight for y'all. And if it does get too tight, just unwrap it a little bit and just kind of start back at a good starting place. a pointer, back to thumb. Now you want to lock everything in. Go over the knuckles. Go back to your pointer. Okay, once that's locked in, go back down to the wrist. And like I said, I don't wrap my knuckles, so we're going down to the wrist, not too tight. Roll it. Roll. I like to go past. This is my wrist bone right here, guys. This is where my wrist bones start. And I like to go about this far past my wrist bone, okay? Probably about an inch and a half, we'll say. Round it off. And then repeat and go back up. And just roll it until your hand wrap runs out. And then this little excess wrap, you can tuck all that in, okay? What I like to do, because when I'm making a fist, when I'm getting close to impact, when I'm working my boxing or my kickboxing, when you swinging on impact or going through with that punch, you tighten up almost to impact. But basically, you want your padding to almost be where that lead knuckle is, or a little bit past your knuckles for added protection, because when you're punching, you really want the padding to hit first before this part of the knuckle hits. So, you know, like I say, they say have your padding longer than these front little knuckles, so the impact to hit first, the padding to hit first, or your top knuckles. But try it out, see how you like it. But this has been a tips and tricks on how to wrap up your hand and use a cut up towel so you can have some extra padding, so you don't have to use so much hand wrap at your knuckle part, so you can have extra for the wrist. Because the wrist is just, your wrist wrap is just important as wrapping up for the knuckles at the top part too. A lot of people, they focus on this and then don't have nothing for the wrist. You got to have a balance of both, guys. So that's just the tips and tricks. I hope it's been helpful to you. This has been Cassio with Armour's Mixed Martial Arts and Fitness, and I'll see y'all guys on the next one.